Christopher Doc Blaylock comes a tale of supernatural revenge. After witnessing a brutal murder by a Russian mob boss, Elizabeth Payne is hunted down, beaten, raped, and left for dead. What they didn't know is she's a descendant of a centuries-old lineage of powerful witches. She's back. She does not want justice, and revenge is not enough. It's blood she's after, and there's no depth to which she won't sink and no price she will not pay to get it. From Throwback Studios, and published by Dark Gift Comics. Pariah, Blood and Mud. Sign up today, only on Indiegogo.
So just sit right down, relax, open your ears real wide and say, give it to me straight, doctor, I can take it.
Chops out from under the wheels. Flaps up. No offense, Margaret. Contact. We're off. Rum, rum.
Doctor, doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you.
Oh, what heights will hit? On with the show, this is it.
The doctor is in, baby. Good to see everybody that's not here. Welcome. Oh, the freaking widgets are out to get me tonight. So just felt like doing a little late night streaming here. Just finished a couple of pages. Well, I wouldn't say finished. I've still got to scrub in a little bit of detail in some of the backgrounds, but it was a productive day. So glad to take a break, jump on a stream, chill out. What's up, Manacor? Hey, I sent the link in the vault, so you should totally hit it and come on in. And I will also pin the who's it, what's it. As soon as the comment pops up, that is, there it goes. Manny, you need to let me give you a wrench. What do you think? On with the show, this is it. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my goodness. So I'm really hoping, or was hoping, that Anthony Darkgift could come on in. Because I wanted to talk to him about going on EVS's stream and doing a little chatting and a little shilling. I'm going to assume cheers is Australian for ad moderator. Tag, you're it. But yeah, if you guys didn't see, imagine my surprise. I woke up this morning, so went to bed late last night, but I worked in dead silence, and got up and in the living room, turned on the widescreen YouTube. And first thing that popped up from my subscriptions was Dark Gift meets EVS. And I was like, what? So then my next thought was, oh, hell yeah, man. If he's on there, he's either about to get roasted or he's going to do some shilling. And if he's shilling, he's going to shill for my book. Well, he didn't get roasted, and he did a little shilling, but he didn't even mention me. Not once, my own publisher. So I gave him a little bit of shit about that in DMs. And of course he said, it's not my show. I just had to follow where EVS led. And of course, I totally get that. It's just good-natured fun. I did pick up 7 subscribers to the mailing list behind all that. So that's a good thing. Where are all the Kingsmen? I need some Kingsmen to come hang out in here. Yeah, I know, right? Oof. watching the whole thing going, yes, yes, yes. And then there's part of it where they were looking at some of Vic's work, and I think it was Malin was ripping into it a little bit. And so that's not pleasant, but it is what it is. Not everyone's taste is the same. Oh, wait a minute. Oh man, I was expecting and hoping a purchaser for a piece of one of my paintings. Yeah, put a tweet out for me. I'll do the same. Dun, 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 dun. What was I saying? Widgets. Oh, no, I was expecting, I'm anticipating a sale for my paintings. If it goes through, it'll pay some bills. Let's see. Manny says, depends on the book he's working on. He's come a long way since I started following him at 18. I assume you mean Vic. I like Vic's work. I think he's pretty solid. Everybody can improve, me included, but he's a solid guy. Then we click this. So I'm going to throw up a share screen here in just a moment. Yeah, there it is. Uh-oh. God, my smoker's hack is rough tonight. So, share screen, entire screen, allow, and then we're going to go boom. So this page is 99% done. I got to go in and clean up my border edges, or I could do that in Photoshop later. Doesn't matter. This shadow here is too dark when it's shrunk down, so I'm going to lighten the shadow under his nose, and I got to shade the background here a little more. And this page will be done, dude. So this is our hero or heroine, Elizabeth Payne, going after the big guy. And it was fun to do. And night scenes are a little bit tricky because you got artificial light, but it's night, and so you want it to look that way. So hopefully we can get that looking good. So yeah, there's that. Manny, what are you doing? There he is. Come on in the house, brother. Welcome.
How you going, Doc?
I'm well, sir. You?
Yeah, you're doing well. I was just on stream with Stephen for a bit before.
Oh, okay. I didn't know Stephen was streaming. I didn't want to step on him.
No, he finished a while back. He's like left the stream, left me in charge of his stream. So I'm like, bye everyone.
Never leave an Aussie in charge.
Yeah, I know, Jesus. I could have like derailed his whole channel, but like he's only got 17 subscribers. I'll wait till he's a bit bigger for that.
Yeah, there you go. Hey Stephen, links in the chat. Come on in. We were just talking.
Speaking of the devil, yeah.
Yeah. So did you watch that EVS stream with Dark Gift?
I was at my mum's for dinner last night. I caught some of it. Like, so like I was just in and out. Like I said hello and everything in the chat. And...
So,
oh, you got to mute it. Mute YouTube.
sorry.
Those damn widgets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How you going,
just
Stephen?
So what happened was that I accidentally hit Leaf Studio instead of Inbox.
Yeah, I thought so.
welcome.
You're lucky I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, he just jumped out of the plane, and left you at 30,000 feet.
I didn't mean to do that. Like I said, and I know this is probably not an excuse anymore. I'm still new to this live streaming thing.
So am I.
and
So am I.
just thinking that, if I hit leave studio, it should turn off automatically, right? So no,
I
it
did
didn't.
the same thing, Stephen, and Anthony actually sent me a private message on my phone. He said, "Dude, your stream's still going." I'm like, "No!" I had to run back in and shut it down.
So I was gonna go back in and apologize, and well, in the stream, then apologize to Manicore about that.
No, that's so weird.
Yeah, no worries, man.
But-
You know, most of Comicsgate is family, so you know, shit happens. Who cares?
I'm still trying to come up with the name for the stream because I don't think Draw and Chill is gonna really cut it.
You know, just get creative. You're a creator.
Just name them something different each time.
Yeah. I mean, like this was just a late night chill stream.
If you've seen some of the titles of Vic streams, man, like
Yeah. What was that one yesterday? It was talking Shiat.
shooting the shit, and then he's done like drawing. What was the other ones? He's got some good ones. Like Hoth Soda was one of them.
Yeah.
So today's stream, I can't show that because that is the page for the next issue, which you are not going to see.
Yeah, you don't want to show that yet.
The first one.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
So for tonight's stream, I did. As soon as I were to remove the lens. Look at that.
There we go. There we go. Now, is this somebody I should know, or is this an original?
It's an original.
Okay. All right. Very cool. Get that other hand on the axe.
Well, he's a strong character. He
can one-hand it.
Yeah, he can one-hand it.
Right on. Right on. Right on.
Bad Wolf can take it.
You can take it.
Bat Wolf.
Battle Wolf.
Battle Wolf.
That's the name I'm going with.
Works for me. Works for me. I'm going to share a screen here and show some stuff I haven't shown in a while. Older stuff. There we go. Allow. Bring it down. So this is a Batman painting I did last year.
Ooh, I like that.
Nice.
And let's see what else we got. This is from all the way back in 04. This is a 24 by 36 painting I did of one of my original characters, Sunrider. And I gave it to my son because the character is actually named after my kid, Christian Daniel. And let's see. Oh yeah, that was a proud moment. EVS and Tucci and Artie Bear looking at my artwork on my website. Woohoo!
Oh, cool.
Nice.
And I got some.
I think I was there.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was too.
I think I might missed that one.
It's been a while. This is one of the covers to one of the books I did back in the 90s. And I could have killed the colorist for mangling it. And there's a couple of things with this one that pissed me off. First, originally, the colorist thought these were teeth. Those are her lips. They were supposed to be pink. So pretty pissed. But then this company, High Quality Comics, bought Pocket Change Comics. And they came down here where my signature was and the inker's initials were, and they deleted it.
They covered it up, didn't they?
They covered it up. Yeah.
That's naughty.
They canceled me from my own book.
From your own book.
Let's see. Yeah. Then that's the Daredevil I did. Same time I did the Batman. Now, I did both of those on spare canvases I had laying around because I had leftover paint on my palette. So I thought, oh, this will just be cool. This will be fun. And shut up and draw. There we go. Different logos. Oh, there's a page from one of my first books. Way back in the day.
It's got a bit of a Dragon Ball Z feel to it.
Don't say that. That hurts my heart.
Does it? I don't know why. I just that scene just does. I don't know.
And there we go. Just a little walk down memory lane. Oh man, I was really hoping Anthony would be home by now because I just want to give him so much shit about not shilling my book on EVS's channel.
Yeah,
I would have been taken too. I was like, what are you doing?
You had one job.
Listen, and literally, like EVS's show, if you like start shameless shilling, like he does it all the time, he wouldn't care. Like he would let you do it. Like that's what I mean. Like
this morning, as soon as I woke up, I look on Twitter and I see like some sort of ad from EVS about showing up on his stream, and it turns out it was an ad from a couple of hours ago.
Yeah,
and it was one that Darkiff appeared on.
Yeah.
He asked for Comicsgate people all EVS asked for Comicsgate people to hit him up this morning too for follows. And so he's following a whole heap of creators.
And I was pretty much like, wait, I missed this.
And we're going to bring in the world's best evil lab scientist assistant, Andy. What's up, buddy?
Andy.
Okay.
Your mic's a bit fucked up.
No, it's fine.
He's speaking in Cylon.
My mic is fine.
Is it?
This is fine. This is fine.
This is fine.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, man?
Not much. It's working.
Yeah, I was, and then I needed a little bit of a break. I popped onto a Lazmat stream just because I knew it would give Testify an aneurysm, and it did. So I served my purpose, and then I left, and I realized how late it had gotten. I'm sitting in the living room with my drawing board, working, and one of my dogs is with me, and the whole house is quiet. I'm like, what the hell? Tacey's gone to bed. She took one of the little puppies with her, and the house was dead ass quiet. I'm like, how long have I been drawing? I looked up and saw the time. I was like, holy crap. Like, I started at 8 o'clock this morning. All day of working. Why am I the only one on camera right now? Why is that? Why is that, Manny?
There you go. Make sure your hands are right, like fucking.
There you go. He's a ladies' man.
The beard's getting a bit out of control at the moment. I'm gonna fucking trim it at some point, I think.
Yeah, No Shave November had me looking scraggly, so I had to.
Hey, what'd you say, Andy?
You're a fucking tree hugger.
Fucking tree hugger? Bullshit. Fucking I'm far from a hippie, mate. Far.
Fucking tree hugger. Tree hugger.
You're just jealous that I'm gonna fucking hug your log, mate. That's what you're jealous about.
I'm jealous of what?
I'm jealous that I won't hug your log, Andy.
He's not hugging your log.
No, thank you. I like Annie, not Audi.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
But, you can keep fantasizing about me. That's all good, man.
If that makes you feel better to think that I am, then yeah, sure, okay.
I mean, I don't know about you, Manny, but I fantasize about Andy all the time.
All day, every day, man.
Who can resist?
I was asking where he was all the time. Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to go warm my coffee up. You guys hold down the fort.
All right, I'll try.
Let's ruin it.
Yeah.
What's everybody up to?
Not much. It's been a slow day today. I've been fucking looking for Vic. He's fucking nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, we won't get into that. Let's move on to a new subject. I'm not overly happy with some shit right now. So
Yeah, and me neither, to be honest. But we won't go there.
no, we'll keep that for another. That'll be a private thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's some of the reason why I haven't been online. So
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. I'm just trying to fucking motivate.
Well, for me, in a few minutes, I'm going to end up logging out of here and going to bed.
yeah, you go to bed, shithead.
Good night, Stephen.
But I am serious about that help with learning more about coloring and stuff, man. I'm not joking. It's Andy Draws Art. Hit me up.
Follow him on Twitter, yeah.
All right.
I mean it, bud.
Hey, Anth, I thought you were watching Empire Strikes Back.
Have a chance.
Later, guys.
Later.
Are you leaving, Stephen? Don't leave. Hold on a second.
What?
I was going to offer you a free semester at my art academy.
I actually got work tomorrow, unfortunately.
I said a semester. You know, a whole. It goes for 8 weeks. But you're not anywhere near Atlanta, are you?
No.
Okay, well then forget it. You don't get it. Okay, Ant says he's on to Return of the Jedi now.
I like those movies.
I do too.
Yes, I do.
The original 3, and
Later, Devin.
they were pushing it.
Later. I gotta go and pass out.
Yeah, you go do that, man. You get some good sleep.
All right, Stephen, be good, brother.
Later.
Peace out.
The original 3 and Return of the Jedi was pushing it with the Ewoks thing, and I'll tell you the moment that Star Wars died, it wasn't the Kathleen Kennedy and all that stuff with the last few movies. I'm going to say one word, and you will know exactly how Star Wars died. You ready? Midichlorians.
Oh, when they
No,
mentioned
I don't agree with that.
That was
Yeah, I
the
don't know.
death. That was the death of Star Wars right there.
No.
It's an organism in your blood instead of what Obi-Wan said in the very first movie. It's a force that binds us and connects us between me and the Rock and you and the blah blah blah. No, now it's a venereal disease that you can get tested for.
That's your opinion.
Yeah, but I'm right.
We ain't gonna argue. I'm tired of arguing with people over stupid shit. I really am.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm stupid. I didn't mean to be.
No,
stupid.
I didn't say you said. I didn't say. I did not call you stupid. I said stupid stuff.
Just fucking with you.
I know.
So here's one of the things that I was thinking about earlier. I was watching. If you've never watched Viva Fry, let's see, TNT is doing a marathon of Star Wars. I think tomorrow they'll be showing the Disney Trash trilogy. Yeah, probably so. But I will watch Rogue One because that was a good movie. But I was watching Viva Fry. He's a lawyer that has a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Super nice guy. I enjoy his content. Anyway, he was talking to Barnes about the fact that in this Ghislaine Maxwell trial, why are these other big name people not also being implicated and charged? And there are no cameras in the courtroom. I mean, they're streaming it, but they're streaming it in the courthouse. You can't see it outside of there. So how is it then that, you know, Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and Prince Andrew and Bill Gates, I better stop saying these names on my YouTube channel. Yeah. Those fine, upstanding human beings that have been falsely accused of doing no-nos in a no-no place. I wonder how they're avoiding indictment. Hey, Well Red, welcome, buddy.
Hey, Well Red.
Really? No.
I would, but my thinking was, I bet you that neither prosecution nor defense is bringing them up because no one wants to get the second universal truth.
Hasn't it been suppressed? Like the names of like all the people that are like implicated have been suppressed on purpose. Like,
I think
it's
so,
been a suppression order. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I read somewhere there was a suppression order.
Yeah, going good, man. Going good. You're welcome to pop in if you like. The link is pinned in the chat. Excuse me.
It's
My,
going.
my smoker's hack is bad today because I smoke like a chimney when I'm working. I mean, Andy, I know. Yeah, you guys smoke. You know, man. When you're working, it's like drinking. You got to.
Well, I do something really bad. I try not to smoke at home, so I chew, but I still smoke. So it's kind of like I do it.
Double blast.
Yes.
Amateur answers, it's easy, Doc. We have a two-tier justice system in this country, and we've had it for over 100 years.
Absolutely right. Absolutely. For example, I talked about this yesterday. Jussie Smollett, before sentencing, is being investigated by the judge
that whole thing is hilarious.
to research his character and who he is before he sentences him. Do you think we would have gotten that if we were found guilty? No, it'd be like, take his ass to jail right now.
And when these people go to jail, do you think they go to real jail? Like,
no, Bill Cosby walked around with a helper and got all the Jell-O pudding he could stand. He was living it up in there. I'm pushing for the age where they segregate you in with the old people before I commit any serious crimes, so that I won't be in general population. I'll be with the elderly, and I could probably take most of them. Come on, you old coot.
I watched 60 Days In a few times, so I'd be all right if I went in there.
Yeah, I watched that too, and it was like, I watched the first two. So like the second season was in
really
Atlanta.
Good. The second season was good too. Yeah.
Yeah, but that one girl outed herself that she was on the show and put everybody at risk. So I was like, man, they should have pulled her out of there and put her in solitary and then a beatdown
Did you see the ex-military guy? Like, he was really good. Like, they ended up taking him out because they were worried about the fact that he was too friendly with all the prisoners. Like he made friends with the boss on the first day. Like,
yeah, he did another 30 days, didn't he? Voluntarily. Like, wow.
But it's like high school. Like, you watch them. Like, it's literally exactly the same as high school. Like, so if you can survive high school and like do it right in high school, you do it right in prison.
Yeah. Just learn your clicks, mind your manners, and know the rules.
I don't worry about any of that shit. I would do just fine.
Well, I've been to the tank, but I've never been in prison.
I'm a tattoo artist. Like I said, I'd do just fine.
Yeah,
you probably tattooed half of them, Andy.
I was going to say, if you're an artist, you'll do good. I'll do envelope art for them, and they'll give me ramen noodles and smoke, so it'll be all good. But
commissary.
Yeah, I was locked up in this little tank, and all the little weekend gangbangers and the drunks were in there. I was blessed enough to be, I'm 6'2", I'm well over 250 pounds, and I just don't get fucked with because I know what I look like, Give them the shit look. I didn't get messed with, so it was all good.
I'm scary looking, so it's all good.
I think Andy probably is all rough looking and shit till you get to his face, and it's like Mickey Mouse.
If I shave, that's a different story. I look really rough when I'm unshaven because I'm graying. Not as bad as you, but there's still brown in my hair.
I'm not gray. I'm white. Come on, man. I went white.
No, you're gray. You're gray.
He's the next stage, Andy. That's white.
I'm white.
Show
us what you're working on there, Andy.
Some rough layouts.
Why are you doing blue over pencil?
I go back and forth. I'll even use red, pink. I don't care what I use.
Okay. All right.
Vic used a pink pencil on stream the other night and copped so much flack for it. It was hilarious.
I know, right?
Yeah, but that's the funny thing. Nobody gives me flack for what I use because, it's kind of like, we don't know what he can do.
Everybody, using blue is traditional. But now I guess you can use any color you want to because you can
the technology.
Yeah, you can color zap it out in Photoshop and you're good.
Because this is actually non-photo blue. It doesn't reproduce, period.
Right.
But if you scan it, on a normal printer, using Photoshop, it will. But if you just go to Xerox it, it won't show up.
Yeah, but if you scan it and the blue shows up, you just subtract the blue.
Yep.
And poof, it's gone.
Yep, I've been doing that for many, many years.
Yeah, you want to know what's weird, Andy? Is we were talking about scanners. I had a extremely expensive and nice scanner, copier, fax thing from my counseling office, and I gave it away a month before I started doing comics again. It was like, son of a bitch, I could have used that.
It's always the way.
Actually, it wouldn't have lasted very long because you want the fax would have broken and that would have fucked everything up. That always goes first on those machines.
Yeah, but I'm not faxing anybody.
Right, but it's always, even if you never faxed anybody, that's always the first thing to break down, and that fucks up everything. It's just like when one.
So you're trying to make me feel better that I got rid of it.
One color runs out on your printer, it shuts everything down.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah. Well, see, I wouldn't use it for anything but scanning, but I've got a local.
You'd have to keep it fully loaded with ink, though.
Yeah, I've got a local business here that's a printer, and they're doing my scans for me at a very reasonable rate. So
I'd just buy a cheap printer. Because all cheap printers, a $30 printer comes with ink cartridges. You don't use the printer, just leave them in there, and it scans. That's what I do. I don't have some high-end,
Well, the
600.
The reason I wasn't using my high-end one is, I have on my fine art channel, I have a studio tour where you can see the facility. There's not an inch of space in this room to put another thing. I mean,
they're literally like just barely as wide as the screen. I mean, they're.
Yep, I've got a widescreen monitor coming, and this smaller monitor, I'm going to move it over here. And
I see plenty of room behind you.
No, you don't. The space over there is where the door
can make
opens.
Room. I can pack 20 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag, man.
All of this is packing and shipping and varnishing stuff for my fine art. My paints and my brushes are up there. My easel's back there. There's that over there is filled with storage. There's a huge wardrobe over here. So
always space. You'll never convince me of that because I
let me tell you, my wife ran me out of the dining room
unless you're in Vic's house.
Yeah, because Vic's in a Ford Aerostar, remember?
I'll have to come down and visit and show you how to do it right.
Shit for you.
Yeah, make you more space. I'm actually really good at that.
My studio here was set up for painting and painting only, and everything associated with it. And I was like, son of a bitch, man, I need a place to draw. So I kind of took over the dining room table. Yeah, that didn't last. The wife was like, no, I don't think so. You got to get this shit out of here. So
see, I literally draw wherever I want because I spent $40 on an art board that comes with a triangle, but it all connects to the same board, and it's made out of plastic, so it's actually really light, and it fits 11 by 17, so I can literally sit anywhere and draw.
Yeah, I sit with my drawing board. Matter of fact, I have one right here. I cut these. This is Masonite, and I cut these for my students to use when they're doing live drawing, or you can paint on Masonite. They call it art board in the art world, but it's Masonite.
Yeah.
And it's extremely cheap. And but I'll sit and draw on one of these all day. Matter of fact, that one's better than the one I'm using. I may take it in there with me.
Yeah, you could literally set it to the computer there and draw. I mean, it's...
Nah, the light's wrong. I can do it in the daytime because I get good light coming through it. There's a window right there that faces east, and I get the morning light in there, so I can do it then.
Called get a fucking lamp.
I have 2 daylight simulators right there. I have an incandescent over there and 2 fluorescents over there because if I'm doing a painting for somebody, I ask them what kind of lighting will it show in, and they tell me, and then I set up the same lighting conditions to do the painting so it looks good in their light. So, yeah, man. What are you smoking, Andy?
Cheap cigarettes.
I bet you they're not cheaper than mine.
Sonoma.
How much do you pay for a pack?
I can get a carton for the price of 2 packs of Pall Mall.
I love how your shit's got like.
So about $25.
Look at Australian cigarettes, right? This is Rollies, right?
Are you rolling?
Like, yeah, but it's all like propaganda about tongue cancer and like.
Yeah.
There's no like labeling on the packaging at all. No.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And how much does that cost?
Like our cigarettes are ridiculous prices. Like that cost me $30.
$30 for how many?
And it's only 15 grams.
And you roll your own?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, you can get a jar of, what is it, Andy Tops?
Yeah.
The blue can. And it's the size of a coffee can. And you get that for like $5. And then
it's more like 15
showing me the
now.
bag that he had like the bag of like the loose cut tobacco in it. Like,
yeah.
He was like, I'm like, you bastard.
Yeah, my stepdad decided he went and got a roller machine to make professional cigarettes, and he went and got a big jumbo bag of pipe tobacco, not realizing it was pipe tobacco and that it was flavored.
Roll it, don't you? Yeah, flavored one. Yeah, you've got to rub it in your hands too, the pipe one, because it's like coarser. Like,
yeah. And it was long cut, so he was making homemade cigarettes. They looked just like Marlboro Lights. And he gave me one, and I lit it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" It almost took my head off.
Yeah, now cigarettes here, they put the tax up like every year for the last 5 years.
Yeah, listen, I said back in the 80s that when these things got to be $1 a pack, I'd quit. Yeah, now it's almost $10 a pack for the good ones. And I'm still
my logic is I've quit a lot of other things that are a hell of a lot worse. So, like, if I've got one vice that's cigarettes, so be it.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, especially right now, because my doctor got after me about the cholesterol and the A1C. So, no bread, no sweets, no cholesterol. In other words, all the good food is off the table now. And you want me to quit smoking at the same time? I think not. That's not happening.
Well, my doctor actually told me not to quit because I was talking about quitting. He's like, no, not yet. I was like, why? Because of everything going on with me. I'd literally put my body in shock, and I'm already in enough trauma as it is.
Mm. My doctor told me not to quit because I was an asshole when I wasn't smoking. So, there's that.
But I like smoking.
I do too. But I did want to quit one time, and I said, "Tacy, honey, let's just quit smoking. We can do it, but we got to do it together." And she goes, "Nope, I like smoking." I was like, "Well, fuck, I'm doomed."
I'll quit one day, but I've given up enough lately in the last couple of years, so
Good for you, Wellred.
I don't drink. I barely do any illegal drugs. I do, prescriptions. So, one thing at a time.
Shit, I couldn't do prescription drugs. I'm taking so much prescription medication for other things that my liver would explode.
Well, that's what I mean. They're all prescription.
Yeah. Yeah, mine are all the old man meds, though. The heart med, the blood pressure med. It's like you're a horse and you put on the feed bag in the evening. Here, let me take my meds.
I had to take high blood pressure pills for about 3 years, and then finally we got my arm to be controllable pain, and it literally dropped my my blood pressure down to actual normal. I went back down to being under pre-diabetic. I was pre-diabetic because of it. Now I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still pre-diabetic technically because once you go, you never go back.
Yes, you can. You can get your A1C down.
No, my A1C is down, but I will always be in that
danger group.
Yeah, because of my family tree.
Yeah, my stepdad actually called me last night, and he said he thought he had gout in his big toe, and it turned out he had a diabetic ulceration. I said, "Yeah, see, gout looks nothing like that. Why didn't you come see me?" Yeah. So now he's having to go to a wound care, get it taken care of, and I had to tell him, man, you got to leave the sugar alone. You can't,
Well, no, it's not. You
He's
can
not-
eat sugar. It's how much you eat.
He's not pre-diabetic though. He's full on.
Oh, okay.
So, you can't play around with it.
Because like hyperactive people who don't take meds for it, they can actually regulate it by drinking soda.
Yeah. The I noticed something, by the way. I was watching EVS do one of his morning draw streams one morning.
Yeah. Was that the
You know how
latest
when
one, or?
one before that, and he's very mellow and he's very quiet.
In the morning he's
and I have to get some coffee to calm. Oh, that all clicked with me. Remember, I'm a retired counselor.
Yeah,
that man has ADD, ADHD.
Yeah,
so stimulants slow him down. They calm him down. When he drinks coffee, his hands get steady and he draws. And then he gets all that energy in the evening from that hyper. And he's got a stream and he's a showman. He's the master of ceremonies and does a really good job at it. But yeah, he's overdrive all the time.
Yeah, he has got overdrive, you can tell.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I just regulate it really, really well.
Yeah, you're so over the top right now, Andy, that I just can't contain it.
Well, I've spent 30 years learning how to control it without meds.
Yeah.
So I know how. Some days are worse than others.
Yeah.
And people have seen it.
Are you ADD or ADHD or both?
I'm everything you could possibly. I am a fucked up kid or adult.
I don't have that, but I have. I was going to mention this when I came in here. By the way, I am a coffee fiend. I have been since I was in my early teens.
You're an addict.
No, absolutely. But I noticed something. Of course, your tolerance to caffeine goes up, just like with any drug. Tolerance always goes up. Well, I wonder, is temperature the same way? Because coffee just doesn't seem as hot to me anymore. Like I can pour a cup fresh out and guzzle it.
It has to do with age. As you get older, all your senses actually deteriorate. It has nothing to do with the temperature. It's still the same hotness. I've noticed the difference in temperature too. But it's
I think it's a conspiracy.
I used to work in not fast food, but like supermarkets in like a deli section. And I used to work with hot chickens and like hot trays a lot. And I noticed with that, like handling hot shit as well, your nerve endings in your fingers. I could pick up 70-degree trays out of the oven like with bare hands, and it wouldn't burn me. No.
Oh, that's Celsius.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. My wife is that way. It's like she'll grab something out of the oven with her bare hands and put it down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll go touch a dish that's just soaking in hot water to wash it and go, ah! And so I don't have that.
I have a lot of nerve damage in my hands, so it's kind of hit or miss with me when it comes to like hot and cold shit. Because there's times where I can grab hot shit, well, most of the time, and be like, oh, hey, this is lukewarm.
Yeah.
And then, go to eat it, and it's like, ha. Yeah. Like, fuck.
Like
I'll shower.
I shower every day all through the week, and then on Saturdays I like to take the hottest possible bath I can stand just to soak my bones, And I'll literally get the water so hot that Tasty can't even stick her hand in it. And this is the girl that grabs shit out of the oven, so I can tolerate heat that way, but not on my hands. And I
shower with
hotter
cold water. Yeah,
you shower in cold water.
No cold water. Like I don't even get the cold tap on.
Do you fill up the tub, or do you get in it then fill it up with the hot water?
Either way, it doesn't matter.
Okay, because when you first step in, this is hot, and then as you sit down, it's fine.
Yeah, acclimatize.
Because you instantly start to,
Yeah, you ever put your hand under running hot water until it felt cold?
Yeah.
I mean, literally.
Your hand acclimatizes to it, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, that ain't even hot. And then, you put your other hand in the water, like, yeah, that's hot.
But yeah, your body does that with everything from drugs to heat, cold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why when you test a baby bottle, right here.
On your elbow, or like it in there, yeah.
Yep, because I made one too hot one time. When my oldest son, who's probably your age, Manny, I was not used to nuking a bottle. So, and we had those with the bags in them, the disposal ones, so there's no air. And I put it in the microwave just for like a few seconds. Well, apparently that microwave I had back then could have powered an aircraft carrier because it made it thermonuclear, and I didn't even test it. I put the lid on, and I was gonna give it to my kid, and I thought, oh wait, you're supposed to test this. And I went, ah! No, I can't give that to my kid.
Yeah,
kill him.
Good thing you tested it.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I hear you. Am I boring you?
No, it's been a long day. I was finishing up making test molds for all that shit I've been making.
Yep. Andy, your fan club, of which I am a member, they're going to start giving you hell, man. You've got to launch a campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah, people can wait till I'm done with what I'm going to do, or they can just,
you got to get one across
whatever.
the finish line. You've got too much good stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna be like other people and put a date on a book and not fucking fulfill it. That makes me angrier than anything else. And half the shit I backed is behind the wire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's almost $1,000 of money put out that is behind the wire. So no.
Well, I'll tell you this: anybody that backs my book, they'll know the book is finished and ready to go to the printer. I will fulfill quick, fast, in a hurry. You're going to get your book so fast it'll make your head spin.
I want to have at least 4 fucking projects done before I launch anything. That way I can sit back and fucking do what I have to promote it. And not worry about a goddamn thing, and everything else is just milk toast in between.
While I fulfill this one, I'll already be working on the next one, which is going to be just a straight superhero book because I like superheroes. I was so torn between doing a continuation of the work I started in the 90s. And hey, Yucky Gum, welcome. The links.
Hey, join the panel, Yucky. Come on, buddy.
Come on in.
Go, Jan.
Or doing the book I'm doing. And it was literally just a toss up. And I thought, well, I've done superhero books, so I'll do this one. And then if it's good, I'll do the superhero stuff.
The mainstream left bad taste in my mouth after with the superhero stuff. Like, that's why we chose to do like something like Artifice. Like, it's like where there's superhuman people, like, but they're not superheroes. Like, I
don't even pay attention to the mainstream. Okay, I still love superheroes. Okay, and what they're doing doesn't bother me at all because I don't give a shit. Okay,
I don't care anymore either. Like, I have no interest in any of it. Like,
that's why I literally don't talk about it. It doesn't interest me. I'm not going to give it a voice. Just like with a lot of other shit out there of what's going on, I don't talk about because the moment you give it a voice, you're making it relevant again. It's not relevant.
That's what they're relying on now too, is the outrage culture and like people getting pissed off, and that gives them like more advertising, more like people look at it because they want to see why people are pissed off. Like,
exactly right.
It's just a cycle. Like,
exactly. I'm not reading any mainstream comics at all. I'm not.
Oh, I do all the time.
Well, I was going to say though, if I want to read, I get a good book, but I have.
I'm just going to get a drink. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Yeah. I've only.
You go do that, drunkard.
Not that sort of drink, Andy. I don't drink.
Have a shot for me too, buddy. I haven't had one in a while. I need one.
In the last couple of months, is when I discovered Comicsgate. So I backed a couple of books, and I'm going to back more. I will support indies, and that's it. I'm not interested in, and I'm more likely, Andy, like if you produced a book tomorrow and launched a campaign, I'm more likely to back yours than I am EVS's. Because I want to support the little guys. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I support those that interest me, and I don't mean the person. I mean the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I can separate the artist from the art, and I also separate business from it all. Okay.
Yep.
Because I've had to in over 25 years. I've been tattooing since '98. So it's been a very long time for me.
Right.
So
Right.
I've had to, but if I didn't have a drawing done for what I was supposed to do, I didn't make money.
Exactly.
And that's hundreds and thousands of dollars out of my pocket in an
That's
instant,
exactly how I am
in
with
a
painting.
second. Yes.
With painting, my philosophy has always been the same thing I'm bringing over here, and that is to be successful, you have to make good art, you have to show it to people, and then be nice. That means stand behind your product, deliver on time, give them more than they expect. So,
But in the comic book world, there's a bit more to it. You know, it's not just the art; it's the writing.
well,
But
yeah,
the art is what
writing
catches
is art.
your, you know, the
Writing
art
is
is what catches your interest. So it has to be good, and that's one of the things that I'm not great at yet is writing. I I can tell a good story visually, but it's putting dialogue and everything else because you know I don't really hear exactly the same way everybody else hears because I am half deaf, so I don't hear nuances. I don't hear any of that most of the time. So I'm kind of left out in the dark when it comes to being able to speak correctly.
Right.
That's kind of why I'm just blunt.
Right.
Hi,
Right.
Yucky. How you doing, buddy?
What's up,
How you doing,
youngster?
guys? How you guys
How are
doing?
you? Doing good, man. How about you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Hey,
Sitting
you want a
around watching
GoJan
some.
story?
Yeah,
Sure.
give me a
I
GoJam
can give
story.
you a plot, and you could write it for me to draw.
Yucky, are
What's
you a
your?
writer? Or are you an artist? What do you do?
I dabble. I dabble. I just
You
dabble.
do better than me.
What's
But Manny
your?
writes, right? Manny's a writer.
Yeah.
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 I try to keep
What
everybody
kind
straight
of?
in my mind.
He wants me to do GoJan. He says he likes it.
Go,
I
go,
like
go, go,
GoJam.
Jan.
I
Yeah.
like it
I'm a
too
big
because
Godzilla head.
it's a very it's a unique. It's actually kind of a unique story because of what I came up with, but it's telling it the way I want to tell it, and doing it right. Somebody else
So,
could do it better. So
was he a human?
no, he's not
He
even
was
of this earth.
not even of the earth. So he
But
came to Earth. Is he a bad guy?
no, not at all. He's a okay. The premise is that all of his species they're connected, kind of like aliens, but universally. So if one dies, the knowledge of that one passes on to it. Kind of goes out. It's like a telepathy. That's kind of how powerful they are. But they're sent out as babies in these giant ships. They were sent out because their planet can't hold all of them because they don't die, they multiply, kind of like rabbits, kind of thing.
Like Bebe's kids.
So, but what happens is, when they hit the Earth, what?
I just caught that.
Remember that cartoon Bebe's Kids where they go, "We don't die, we multiply."
Yeah. I kind of use it that way because, it's a long story. But they literally, send them out into the universe to, end up on other planets. But when they actually come to when they're born, they're basically brainless monsters. And sometimes it could last a day before they get their senses. It could last a week. It could last years or even longer, depending on if the spaceship was damaged or not.
So
And one of those,
when they don't have that consciousness, that's when they're dangerous. They step on
yes,
cities and stuff.
yeah, they go, destroying Tokyo kind of thing.
Yeah. It's like they only step on bad cities.
But the reason most of the reason why they're sent out in the universe is to protect, because there's other races out there that are warring and destroying planets. It's kind of a space opera kind of thing.
I wish that I had, when I was in high school, one of the comic books that we did for the National Media Festival was literally Godzilla versus our superheroes. So it was, I think we had 20 characters. And man, there was one panel that was just awesome because it was Godzilla said wham, and he stepped down on a handful of them. And then the next panel is the main strong guy lifting his foot up. He's been protecting the other guys under him. And that was such a good panel. And it was probably the only highlight in the book, to be honest with you. But no, his Aunt Flo came into town. Poor Vic. I get the migraine, but the cramps, come on now.
I'm not touching any of that.
Yeah, I'm not touching it either because fucking, yeah.
No.
So, Andy, do you already have like a basic? I mean, that's kind of your basic plot. Do you already have like a story how you want it? Like, do you already have like he's going to come down, he's going to be mindless, or is he going to be?
Well, like some of those pages I was showing last night of that flip book.
Carry on. I'll be right back.
Was kind of like him coming into being, but that first page I showed where it showed the panel of the spaceship head kind of thing, where it looked like it was like a that was the kid thinking back. That was the same kid that was taking the photos in that story. He ends up kind of bonding with being able to speak to the monster telepathically, and that's kind of how the story revolves around, like the kid discovering, because the creature, surprising enough for as large as he is, can kind of disappear pretty good. And that's kind of what happens, But he also has the ship, but unfortunately, the creature left far enough away from the ship that he kind of doesn't know where it is, and they have to find it, and there's a threat heading towards Earth. So there's a bunch of shit going on. I have it's kind of a very undeveloped story, but it ends up being a lot of issues. So I never was able to tackle it because I don't know how to structure something that large.
Right.
Like my fairy warrior.
Send Yucky your storyboards and let him do your story.
Like, do you already have like a villain in mind, or?
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Yeah,
Talk about it in private.
I might have a good character that could start off as a villain, then be a friend, like when Gojar comes to consciousness.
We'll have to do a private stream and talk.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm pretty open to a lot of shit because, like, I come up with ideas, but other people can have, killer ideas too. So it's one of those things where
no
I'm
spoilers, because if you actually do this book, I want to read it. So don't spoil it for me.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I've got
if you do it, I'll back it too. So.
Yeah,
I've got a big robot character that I've been looking for. Like, I have no story for him. I just have a big robot character, and I'm like, man.
Well, we'll definitely talk because I like giant robots, and I actually have a couple. I have a couple of robot ideas and stories. So yeah, we can definitely do something. It's just finding.
When I saw Godzilla versus Megalon, dude, Jet Jaguar like warped my brain.
Yeah, all of that stuff. I love, Gundam, Robotech.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. So Transformers.
Sure. The old ones like Voltron and Battle of the Planets. And so, but Yucky, you'll have to be the one to once it's finished, you'll have to do the campaign because Andy won't do it.
Who said that?
Yeah, what do you mean you won't do it?
It's just
Andy,
I said I have to have 4 campaigns done. I literally have 2. Actually, I don't have any campaigns completed. I do have an art book that is almost done. Never and Vetter are almost completely drawn and inked. I just have to You know, I have quite a few projects that are.
I know you do.
The problem is, it's telling the dialogue the way I want it. I can't. You know, that's kind of why I let Well Read do what he did with Pandy to begin with, because I have no problems with giving you my ideas and letting people run with like a story.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very open about that.
I'm pretty. What's the word I'm looking for here? I'm pretty comfortable with my writing. I mean, I've written books, I've written plays. I can write, and the story on my book is good, and the dialogue. I take little T90 yellow Post-it notes, and I write the word balloons on them and just stick them on the page when I'm done. And that way, if I want to change something, I just go back and do that. That way, when I'm ready to script the book and actually letter it, all I got to do is, peel and paste and go. And so far, this one it's good. Ant says, probably fetus steps for me right now, Manny. Fetus.
I even have a werewolf character.
It's better than going backwards, Ant.
Yeah, last year was the year of the werewolf, man. There were so many werewolf books.
Oh, that's why Yucky's been so obsessed with them.
Yeah, it's kind of a joke.
What do you guys think about old Aaron Lopresti's book, Wraith of God? That thing looks good. Yeah,
that looks pretty good. Really cool. I want to get. I saw his Garbage Man was just released from Dark Horse.
Yeah.
I need to get that because that was like one of the last DC comics I ever read was when the original Garbage Man was getting released chapter by chapter. I think it was like 12 issues.
I had one, and the art was amazing. No, I was just going to say it's amazing art. Dude can draw.
Yeah, I think he had to go back and he had Batman in the story of Garbage Man. I think he had to replace Batman with some OC character.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of cool. Like, I was a big fan of Garbage Man because really there was no Swamp Thing when Garbage Man came out. So Garbage Man was going to kind of replace Swamp Thing in the normal DCU.
Yeah. See, I love characters like that. Man Thing, Swamp Thing, Garbage Man. Even the Golem in my book is similar. He's made out of that rancid swamp mud and Spanish moss that hangs in the trees. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like a good muck man.
That's his beard and his shoulders and his hair. I love those big shambling monsters, and I love that Marvel made Man Thing like the guardian of a Nexus. It's like, okay, that is badass. He's mindless, fearless.
The original Jewish myth of the Golem is cool too. Like the actual where it comes from. Right?
Yeah. Well, there's three cultures that had something similar. There's the Yiddish, Hebrew culture. The Hindi have one, and that's why I named my book Pariah, because that's a Hindi word for the unclean outcast. And then the Eastern Europeans have one that spun off of the Yiddish one. And so you better believe, man, I went and I read everything I could find on the golems for this guy. And I got some twists with this book, man.
The golem's just basically a husk that's controlled by somebody. That's all they are.
Until they're not. They
they can become sentient.
They can become.
Yeah, there's a really good DC comic by Jimmy Palmiotti called Golem.
Oh, don't tell me this. Did you see the episode of the X-Files that had a golem in it?
Yeah, I saw the X-Files pretty much.
Yeah. I even watched that to make sure that I don't replicate anything anyone else has done. So
that DC book is it's like a golem. There's like two timelines. There's a modern timeline and then like a 1940s, 1950s timeline where these mobsters are giving these Jewish people a hard time, so they create this golem. And I think the golem gets possessed by the spirit of one of the neighbors that was murdered by the gang.
Yeah. Okay, good. Good. I'm glad that deviated because you brought up Russian mobsters, and I've got Russian mobsters in my book.
They become like a vessel, they can.
Yeah, the one in the original myth developed emotion first. He fell in love with the girl, and he started following her around and protecting her instead of what the rabbi summoned him for. And so he had to erase one of the letters from his name, because in Hebrew, golem, you remove one word and it becomes truth. And the truth is you're not a real man. So when he removed that one letter, the spell's broken and he dies. So my guy doesn't have that problem.
The Jimmy Palmiotti book was called Monolith.
Okay.
Yeah, Monolith. That's a great series. There's
I have to check that out.
Yeah, there's a collected. I think it was only 12 issues. It didn't last long.
We'll pull up
It's a pretty self-contained story, even though it takes place in the DC universe.
Yeah.
Okay, I see him. Good. He looks like a big old Hulk.
Yeah, it's just like a gray Hulk.
How do you feel about zombies?
I like them.
You like them? I have a zombie story too. It's actually a screenplay I wrote when I was laid up with my back. But it's aliens. Alien undead.
Alien undead. Okay.
Like, is it like parasites or?
You'll have to read it. I'll let Yucky play with it.
Okay, that's 2 projects, Yucky.
Yeah. I need a lot of practice because I'm stuck on it. I mean, this is why I haven't done anything so far. I probably got like 5 stories. I'm just like, man, should I get started on this one? Should I do this one? Man, I kind of like this one though. Like I can't decide which one to start.
Yeah, there's.
I get it.
You guys ever?
Kinda... Go ahead. Sorry.
You guys ever? You guys ever read Stephen Brushed? He did the Dragera series. It started in the 80s. It's still going on now.
No.
Anyway, he writes from the first person, very much like Roger Zelazny did with the Amber books. And he gave a speech or a seminar at a college. And they asked him, did you use this model of writing? Do you use this and that? And he said, here's the model I use. Above my word processor, back in the 80s, it was a typewriter. He has a sign that says, now I'm going to tell you something cool. And so he just writes cool stuff. So it's like, he said, you just sit down and start writing and let a bad idea turn into a good idea and let that thought that you have while you're writing find a place in your story. Don't write linearly, just jump around and sew them all together later. And I was like, God dang, man, that's almost exactly how I produce,
Yeah, I tried that, but sewing it together is the problem.
It can be, yeah.
Sometimes like you can keep stuff for for the same project for later or for like another project or like, you know what I mean? Like never get rid of anything. Keep everything you write.
That's exactly right. Yeah, there's a line in a movie where the lady says, bad ideas, don't you love those?
See, I don't have bad ideas.
No, exactly. Bad ideas turn into good ideas creatively.
I call them happy little accidents. They get me in a lot of trouble.
Good idea, bad idea.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff, but yeah, definitely Yucky. I'm interested in shit with you. So
collaboration, that's the word you want.
Yeah, I love collaboration.
Look at me being a writer, throwing those words out there. Hoo-yah!
It's one of the reasons I liked making short films so much because, you're not just working with yourself. You got an editor, you got people to throw ideas at. And
yeah.
I don't think great ideas are usually done by one person.
Great ideas do come from one person. But the problem is that one person alone can't always make it the fullest it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Even Tolkien, would take his work and read it to the Scribblies, or what do they call it? The Inklings. That was his group. And he was so sensitive to critique that C.S. Lewis one time gave him a critique on one little part of a scene. He went back and rewrote the whole chapter.
Yeah.
But Tolkien was a fucking... He always butthurt.
He was a genius.
Sometimes you
I
gotta do
wouldn't
that,
go,
though.
I
Like,
wouldn't go that far.
My buddy made
You
a
wouldn't
short
go that-
film, and like as soon as I read the script, I'm like, "Why is this happening? This should not be happening." And he had to shoot the scene, he had to edit it in, and then be like, "Oh, this doesn't work." I'm like, "Dude, I told you that." But
George Lucas
had
was
to
another
do
one.
it
He worked
himself.
with heaps of other people, like and like had like a lot of help with his work. He didn't do it all alone. Like it's like, yeah.
The perfect
I think
example of a
the creative
genius.
process is more fun too when you're working with other people. Like it really
is.
So,
An example of a genius who was stupid. Steve Jobs.
Yeah, stupid. Maybe just trust
You
him
want
about stupid,
genius ideas. You put genius people around you, and you say,
yeah.
put all of this music into this little box. I don't care how you do it. Do it. You have 6 months. He had an idea. He made it happen. That's
Tony
genius.
Stark built this in a cave out of a box of spare parts.
Do you know who that dude was that said that? Did you know that was the kid from A Christmas Story?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Every time
Yeah.
I see that,
The guy with the bald head.
Some of Marvel's worst
Sure,
movies, right there. Iron Man.
I like the first Iron
Andy,
Man.
I'm starting to not trust your opinion on things. You don't think Tolkien was a genius, and you don't think Iron Man was good?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
It's
like
not that
Iron
it
Man as a
wasn't
character, to
good.
be honest. Like,
I just didn't
really.
like what they did with it. Okay.
I like that first movie. That first
Yeah.
movie
The
is
first
really one of
one
the
was
only
okay.
Marvel movies that has like a superhero. Like to me, a superhero movie needs a super heroic moment, right?
Yes,
And in
I
Iron
agree.
Man, the super heroic moment is when he's like he's yelling at Gwyneth Paltrow. He's like, "There is no more whatever. There's only the next mission and the one after that and the one after that." It's like that's the heroic
Right.
moment in that movie.
Exactly.
Like
And-
so many Marvel movies don't have that.
Yeah.
My favorite
And
thing
think about. Go ahead.
My favorite thing about Iron Man is literally Jarvis, like the AI computer. Like that's my favorite thing about it. Like,
And Dummy, the
I
robot.
didn't
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I wanted the real Jarvis, not a computer.
I did too
Yeah,
at
see,
first.
the
but
real
I
Jarvis
only because of
got
gave
to
it so much more personality. And
But,
the reason I didn't like that movie, a lot of it was the fact they jumped from that first armor to the Mark One, and they didn't have anything in between of what could have been great.
Well, I like that in the first Avengers movie. Remember when Steven and Tony are arguing with each other, and Steve says, "You're not the one to lay down on the wire and make the sacrifice play so the other guy can go." And what does he end up doing in Endgame? You know, so that's an arc. Now, granted, it was a 12-year arc, but it was an arc. He was the guy that would lay down on the wire to save someone else.
I liked Age of Ultron. That was good as well. Like,
Yeah, but that kind of
just
felt
Ultron's
right.
character.
That whole Tony Stark thing kind of felt fake. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Not to me.
You know, just because his personality wouldn't have allowed him to sacrifice himself like that. He's too self-centered.
But that was the growth arc. He changed over time. And
I just
part of
loved
it
it.
was having to come to terms with Captain America because his dad idolized him and it made Tony resent him, but then they became friends anyway. And it helped him absorb some of that altruism that Captain America had. And Captain America, in turn, developed some of the cynicism from Tony.
I just think they
I just
rushed
like
everything. too
There are
much.
no strings on me parody. The Ultron does that's fucking gold.
Strings on me.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Answer this: where do you go after after the fucking Thanos war?
That
You really
is a good
can't go
question.
anywhere.
You can't really.
Look what we're
Isn't the
getting
next
now.
one
We're getting
Love and Thunder?
the
is
crap that's
Thor,
coming out
and
now.
Well, supposedly
yeah.
they're going to be working their way towards Secret Wars. Is the rumor?
Secret Wars or the oh god, what's the guy's name that's the Time Lord
Um,
in the Loki series? Kang.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
They're working toward Kang.
That's actually the next. That's what they're doing after this next phase is the Kang.
I
shit.
heard they were gonna like introduce Spider-Man after No Way Home. They're gonna introduce Spider-Man to the Avengers at some point too. That
Yeah,
I agree
that's
with
just. I don't know.
Yeah,
they need to
there's
keep
Young
everything.
Avengers, Dark
Originally, he
Avengers.
was part of the Avengers, like in one of the comic book series, like spin-off
Yeah,
series.
but
Oh, listen, there's a George Perez poster that's a drawing of every character that's been in the Avengers. Yeah, it's all of them. It's everybody in the
Yeah.
Marvel universe.
what I'm saying is they rushed everything too fast. Thanos should have been later on. They should have done smaller, not such cosmic shit,
I disagree.
and we wouldn't end up where we are now with absolutely nothing to do, because there's nothing good for them to do because they can't go back.
I'm going to say this. I liked the Loki series. It was okay. I liked WandaVision. It was okay. But this Hawkeye series is Marvel. I mean, it is really good.
You know, Andy, I've been thinking about this, and I think the problem is a lot of Marvel's great stories really do come from the Fantastic Four universe. And I think that's why they haven't done all these like really cool like connecting things. They had to wait until they bought like Fantastic Four back.
Well,
yeah, I'm thinking it's
all
my
of
theory.
them were I mean, a lot of them were Fantastic Four. I will admit that, but a lot of them had nothing to do with Fantastic Four. It's just that they don't want to give credit. They don't want to use ideas of people that are not a part of what's going on. John Burns, a lot of his shit, the Wanda stuff that was used in the WandaVision was taken from him, and they gave him very little credit for it. Yeah, it's just so much of the stuff is just it's just rushed. I think personally,
I don't think it's rushed,
it
but
doesn't feel right.
I'm anxious to see what Marvel does with Fantastic Four. But I will say this, and Stan Lee agreed with me on this point. Michael Chiklis as the Thing in the very first movie, that was the best manifestation of a Marvel character yet.
Well, if they got his attitude and the way he looked in that crappy one, would have been perfect.
I actually I was just gonna mention that. I like the Thing in the really crappy German produced Fantastic Four movie.
I liked Michael Chiklis as the Thing. Yeah, okay, that hurt.
What's funny is if they would have taken the name off of that movie and not called it Fantastic Four, it would have been fine. Just like RoboCop, that last RoboCop. They wouldn't have called it RoboCop, it would have been fine.
The problem with the Fantastic Four movies is they're always in a rush to automatically they turn them into the Fantastic Four, and then Ben Grimm has to be upset about being the Thing. They automatically have to go to Ben Grimm being upset. And I get it. They need to do that story, but not the first movie. It's just going to be clobbering time. You know?
Yeah,
they gotta
it's
jump
done
to
now
in the first movie.
So just like with Spider-Man, right now we didn't have to
done.
We didn't have to get Uncle Ben again dying and the start of Spider-Man. So now that there's, even though it's not canon, you know, the Fantastic Four done the origin twice now.
But
so
the Sony stuff isn't Marvel's yet.
Well,
so
neither
they weren't allowed to use the origin, if I remember.
Yeah, it is funny that the only clue we have to Ben Parker in the Disney universe is the initials on his suitcase in Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Yes, it's because they can't use any of that stuff. Just like Venom was never mentioned, none of it. They had to work out all those details. That's why the Tom Holland shit had nothing to do with the original Spider-Man. It was all.
That's why I don't like any of those ones, really. Like, I like bits of them for what they were,
they're
nostalgia factor, but they're all missing something. Every single one of them.
I was trying to, even today, I was thinking, I'm like, I think the first one has J. Jonah like perfect, right?
Yeah,
and all that stuff.
Nailed him. Like when I
he was hysterical.
Like I pissed my pants, man. Like literally, because they nailed him 100%.
Yeah,
that was my favorite cartoon series as a kid. So like, just it like triggered that all the nostalgia.
Serious?
From the old stuff. Like,
yeah.
Well, like what I think they should do with the Fantastic Four, okay, instead of doing the origin the first movie, they should do the origin in the second movie. That way, they don't have to do all that. 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 Just throw us into a medium adventure. Don't introduce us to any of their, anything about them yet. And then, have them finish the story, the movie. Then the next movie, have them revisit the origin for part of the movie, and then start another, epic adventure that turns into a third movie. That would be more interesting.
Yeah, because I like all the time, whenever I watch a superhero, like a good superhero movie to me starts with the hero showing up in the first 5 minutes. I don't need to see an origin. We could do the origin in the last like 30 minutes or like in the last part of the second act or something like that. We could talk about it, but you don't need to start like a linear story of they get into the spaceship, they go into space, blah, blah, blah. It's like you can start with them landing on Earth and them getting out.
Yeah. Or with them already operating, but they haven't had their first big
It could be the first time the public sees them.
I'm not a big Tarantino fan, but doing movies like he does, but in superheroes would be fucking rocking because he literally
probably would. It'd work.
Throws you in,
Yeah, I call that like novel editing, right? That's like novel structure.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino's movies almost read like a graphic novel. Here's these panels and flip the page and here's these panels,
That's kind of how I like
the way it all comes to one in the middle, like at the end, like it all just like all the stories like interject, like
yeah.
But I'm kind of an old school guy in that method. The Jack Kirby method was, the first page he's punching you in the face, and then it's just everywhere, every way but loose, and then you kind of back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. And my theory is this: I think the Avengers Tower, that's going to be the Baxter Building. The A on the side will become a 4. And that's going to be
Baxter Building is somewhere else in the city.
I'm just saying they're going to use that. They're going to use
But that whole building was destroyed, so.
No, it wasn't. And it was sold. There's a scene in one of the Spider-Man movies where he's right in front of it, and it says coming soon and something, but it's blocked out. You don't see what it is. But it's been sold.
Which Spider-Man was that? There's only been
the first one.
I don't remember that.
When Happy is packing it up and he flies off.
I think I recall that too. Yeah, because that was the plot, right? Yeah, they sold the building and they're transferring all the important stuff on that plane.
Yep. So now that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. I may be wrong, but if I'm right, you heard it here first.
Right. I just want to know, they need to not do Dr. Doom right off the bat. They need to start with Namor or something.
No, they need to do somebody like the Mole Man. Just somebody simple, who's still a massive threat.
But Namor is going to give you a good character story between Susan and Reed and,
Well, they're already.
I got to tell you, this is I just read the first 50 issues of Fantastic Four this year. I've always been a DC guy, and dude, I was blown away how much I cared about the romance drama between Susan.
I think the Mole Man should be first, the origin should be in the middle, and then the Namor should be last, where it sends you into they could do the Atlantis Wars.
But Namor is very important. If Marvel's gonna introduce the mutants into the Disney, I think Namor is very important to start off because that explains why people hate mutants is because of Namor. Namor's attack on New York is why people hate mutants.
Is the main antagonist in the next Black Panther movie.
Oh, that's right. He is cast, isn't he?
Yep. So the war between Wakanda and Atlantis is going to happen.
It. You're right, Andy. They go too fast.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I got to wrap this one. My son is texting me, and he is out of gas, and I got to go rescue him.
No worries.
That sucks. We were just having fun.
Children.
Dad duties call. So anyway, thanks for hanging out, guys. I enjoyed the conversation as always, and Hope you guys have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, take care, guys.
Peace out.
Hail chat.
Hail the chat.